From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
A News Hour tonight. 21 people are confirmed missing in the attack on Kaduna-bound train as Inspector General of Police patrols Abuja-Kaduna Highway. Customs arrests suspected smuggler with police uniform. Governor Yahaya Bello declares presidential bid as female aspirant eyes seat. Another foreign scene, Ukraine's president says troops creating a catastrophic situation by leaving mines around homes and even dead bodies. And now the details. The Nigerian Railway Corporation has declared 21 people missing in the bombing of a Kaduna-bound train. Giving an update on Saturday, Managing Director of the corporation, Engineer Fidet Okiria, confirmed that a total of 362 passengers boarded the ill-fated train. He said that while 170 were safe, 21 were missing, but was however silent on the fate of the remaining 171. And similarly, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali, has assured of maximum security for engineers carrying out repairs of rail tracks exploded by terrorists during the Monday attack. The IGP gave the assurance while on an on-the-spot assessment of the track scene.
On the scene of the Monday train attack, IGP Usman Baba Alkali says the purpose is to check the deployment made to protect engineers at the site.
Check the deployment we had made at the scene of the train accident where repairs is taking place. We have also deployed our men to assist the engineers in taking care of the situation.
He says the security will be beefed up along the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway to ensure security of life of those plying the road, since train services have been temporarily suspended.
This issue of Kaduna cannot be accessed either by road, by air, or by train. It's not true. The road is safe for motorists to follow, and we'll try our best to keep the road safe.
Recently, Kaduna State has become an epicenter of terrorist attack, especially with attacks on airport, train, as well as the discovery of explosive devices at different locations in the state.
Now, ever since Monday night's bombing of the Kaduna-bound train from Abuja by terrorists, there have been reports of families of those abducted being contacted by kidnappers. However, it seems that there have not been ransom demands. For an update on the developments so far, Chamun Dabeng spoke to Defense and Security Editor for Blueprint newspaper, JIBRIN NDACE. Here's the report.
The Abuja-Kaduna-bound train, which perhaps is one of the most important rail line in Nigeria, if you like. I keep telling people, even on discussion about this issue, I said the rail connecting Abuja and Kaduna is not as, even if there is a rail line connecting Lokoja or Lafia or even Minna, they don't have the same time of value and everything in terms of high network individual that move between Abuja and Kaduna on a daily basis, you know, some connecting other part of the country. So it's most unfortunate. But even when you look at it in terms of the impact, because like you keep saying, terrorists and insurgents all over the world have no war to win.
For more than a decade, Nigeria has dealt with extreme levels of insurgency, but it seems the spiraling rate of kidnapping has placed it ahead of security concerns. There are those that have argued that the spate of abductions is rising because of the payment of ransom by families and relatives of victims.
If you have a loved one, a child, a wife, a family member, a husband, you know, a benefactor, even somebody who is not even a relation, but you have some relationship with that person, and then he's in this situation. Even if you have to go and borrow money, you want to do that. But it's not because it is necessary. It is the right thing to do. It's not because it's the right thing to do. But like you also pointed out, it's because people want to see their people back alive. You know, so I mean, it's a situation of between deep sea the depot and the deep sea. Which one do you take? You have your loved one. Do you wait on government to say, okay, until government is able to? No. You know, this is what they want to achieve. They have created panic now in the minds of the people. They have created fear. You know, you can't follow route, you can't follow rail, and then, even if you say, okay, let people fly by air, how many aircraft, they can't even service the normal route, not to talk of between here and Kaduna, with the number of people who want to travel, affordability, you understand, logistic, and all of that. So they have made a maximum impact, you know, nationally and even globally.
As security agencies try to curb the descent into anarchy, Mr. NDACE is concerned about the need to protect informants.
You must value your informants, your source. We have it in the media now. When you have a source, you don't divulge it. It's just a different way now. We journalists are people who deal with sources. And once you divulge your source, you burn that bridge. That is all. The person will never trust you again. Like I have an interview now, I said, Chamu, please, what I say with you is off record, and tomorrow I see it on there. I will never talk to you again. It means that you are burnt that.
The Christian Association of Nigeria has rejected the plan by Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State to bring in foreign mercenaries to help tackle insecurity in the state. In a statement on Saturday, FAAN chairman in Kaduna, Reverend John Joseph Hayab, urged the federal government to call the governor to order to avoid a bigger problem. Governor El-Rufai, shortly after meeting with the President Muhammadu Buhari at the Villa, had said that if the federal government failed to address the insecurity problem, governors may bring in foreign mercenaries to end terrorism. He said that with the deteriorating security situation, governors will have no choice but to take action to protect the lives and property of their people. But Khan said that if any other Nigerian suggests such action in public space, he would have been accused of or arrested by government for undermining the security agencies and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. The Nigerian Army has described constant military physical training as a measure that improves mental strength for combating insurgency. General Officer Commanding 3 Division, Nigerian Army, JOS, Major General I.S. Ali stated this at the closing ceremony of the Corporal and Below 2022 competition held at the 33 Artillery Brigade, Bauchi. Adamu Imam has more.
The General Officer commanding the Operation Safe Haven, JOS, says they will continue to maintain rigorous training of Army personnel in order to arrest all forms of insurgency in the country.
To know their strengths and their weaknesses. And that is what they are going to take home with and how they will perform when they are deployed. I am confident that with these type of trainings and more of it, which our Chief of Army Staff is really behind to see that we get more training, it's going to help us to counter most of the security challenges facing the country. So by God's grace, going ahead, there will be success. People will be able to sleep with their full eyes closed.
In his remark, the State Governor Bala Abdul Qadir Muhammad, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Barrister Ibrahim Kashim, re-echoed the importance of effective synergy between the military and the state authority in the fight against insurgency.
Of Nigeria. So it's gladdening to see that the armed forces is training and retraining itself, so it continues to position itself as our number one armed fighting force that will keep the unity and cohesion of Nigeria.
They urge participants to see the event as a motivation towards discharging their responsibility of protecting the internal and external security of the country. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Moving on to political matters, Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State has officially joined the 2023 presidential race. Bello officially declared his intention to run for the presidency on Saturday in Abuja. His declaration lays to rest speculation surrounding him running for the presidency in 2023. Speaking, Senator Jonathan Zungina described the presidential aspirant as a detribalized Nigerian. stressing that Nigeria needs Bello as an aspirant. Zingwina noted that the governor uprooted insecurity from Kogi, which will have been a breeding ground for kidnapping and banditry. A Kano-based journalist, Nana JIBRIN, has declared her intention to contest for the president of Nigeria. Addressing a news conference, JIBRIN says her intention is to ensure that every Nigerian is given an opportunity to participate in nation building. Worried by gender inequality among women, she believes that it is high time for Nigerian women, regardless of their political class, to come out and embrace politics.
Is to make my intention known, despite the fact that I have done that since on the 8th of March 2022, International Women's Day. I did my speech and I will share the declaration with you so that everybody will go through. I would like to use this opportunity to call on women and youths, not just to be voters, but to come out and join politics. And this is the right time for us to come together to salvage Nigeria.
And still staying with political matters, some members of the All Progressives Congress in Kwara State, loyal to the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, have defected to the Social Democratic Party, citing injustice from the national leadership of the party. They have equally repainted their factional APC secretariat to SDP colors and logo. The report.
Addressing journalists at the party secretariat, a factional Kwara South senatorial chairman of the party, Mr. Razak Alabi, disclosed that they decry to leave the APC because of injustice and what he called inhuman treatment meted on their group. He said official complaints to the national body of the party did not yield fruitful results despite assurances they were given.
You are all witnesses to the inhuman treatment we have suffered in the party and how the party hierarchy has finally decided to treat our concerns with levity. Seated here with us at this press briefing are all the 193 ward chairmen, 16 local government chairmen, and all the state working committee members who have jointly decided with our numerous supporters to announce to you today our official defection and mass movement of our supporters and party members from the APC to Social Democratic Party.
In another development, some members of the ruling All Progressives Congress have defected to the Young Progressives Party, YPP, especially by youths across the state. Addressing the defectors, the National Secretary of YPP charged the newly elected state executive members to embark on membership drive to enable the party win elections.
It affirmed to me that you have elected them to represent our great party here in Kwara State. The task ahead of you is very enormous. You are expected to ensure a massive membership mobilization. You have 60,000 now, but I expect you to double the number and possibly triple the number in the next few months. You are also expected to ensure that we have credible candidates to run for all the various elected offices in Kwara State, from the State Assembly to the House of Reps to the Senate and the governorship seat. Inshallah, we will take over Kwara State in 2023. And this, you are just the catalyst. You are the yeast. You know, they put something they call yeast in bread to make it swell up. So you are the yeast that would be used in Kwara State to ensure that the party swells up and the party becomes acceptable to all.
I've noticed and I've watched, I've studied the legislative performance at the national level. But I realized that my own constituency is not represented for one reason or the other. The man who is representing us is an APC member from ASA, and today is not functioning well in the House for one reason or the other. It is people's thing. You know, that's what I feel representation should be. It is what the people want. It's not about you. It's not about, you know, it's them. It's like them being in the House of Representatives.
A chieftain of the All Progressives Congress in Adamawa, an aspirant for Deputy National Chairman north of the APC at the just concluded APC National Convention, Chief Sonny Moniedafe, has reaffirmed his loyalty to the APC. Moniedafe said that he will not be dumping the APC despite the outcome of the APC convention, where because of the consensus arrangement adopted by the APC, he and other suitable qualified candidates were made to step down for other candidates to fill key national offices at the convention. The report.
Addressing newsmen in Yola, Moniedafe said he has decided he will remain in APC and strive for reconciliation within, because the APC is a much better party compared to other political parties. Moniedafe said he took the action to clear the air about insinuations that he and other chieftains of the party who lost out during the recent APC convention were considering leaving the party, adding that for him, reconciliation was crucial to rebuilding the party for victory ahead of the forthcoming local government elections in Adamawa, his adopted home state.
I will never leave APC because it's a progressive party. Having said that, whatever happens here happens in other parties. We must stand up and say, look, enough is enough. My people have sent a letter to the national chairman for us to come and congratulate him. Since I care that I stepped down for a good friend, will be there. We have to reconcile because that is the only way forward. Somebody hurts you, you might be justified to react, but what does that make you? It makes you petty. So I let it go. God didn't want me to be national chairman or DNC, and I accept it.
He also urged Governor Ahmadu Fintiri to ensure local government polls scheduled for 9th of March in Adamawa is transparent, free, and fair.
You are today invited for me to use this opportunity to call on the governor of the state, His Excellency Governor Ahmadu Fintiri, and the Adamawa State Independent Electoral Commission, ADSEC, under the leadership of Alhaji Isa Shetima, to allow for a free, fair, and transparent local government politics. It will not be nice, and we will not accept it if we have a situation where the PDP wins all the local government elections come next Saturday, 9th of April.
Men of the Nigerian police and the customs in Katsina State seem to be locked in a crisis of identity of an alleged smuggler. The alleged smuggler, Jelani Suraju Abdul Kadir, suspected to be a police officer, was apprehended by operatives of Katsina State Area Office of the Nigeria Customs in possession of 25 bags of foreign rice. At the time of arrest, he was in possession of a police ID card. After parading the suspect, the customs operatives handed him over to police for further investigation, where the two sister agencies are trying to ascertain the suspect's true identity. Abdullahi Ahmadi has details.
Briefing journalists earlier on the smuggler Jelani Suraju, suspected to be a police officer, the area controller of the Customs Service DC Alhawada Chedi said the suspect was apprehended in possession of contraband, armed with police ID card.
The suspect, a suspected police officer with 4 different types of ID cards, ranging from police ID card, 2 stars, Citizen for Peace and First Aid Mission of Nigeria, another ID card, Nigerian Association of Agri-Produce Dealers in partnership with Ogun, another ID card, Iman, Federal Representative of Nigerian Tax Force, Kaduna State.
Upon thorough investigation by the Kaduna State Police Command, it was discovered that the suspect is not a police officer, but an impersonator, and the police ID card in his possession is fake. The Katsina State Police Command wondered why the Katsina Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service claimed in the press briefing that the suspect arrested by the Nigeria Customs operatives is a police officer without thorough investigation.
The Nigerian Customs Service Katsina Area Command handed over to the Katsina State Police Command one Suraju Jelani Abdul Kadir.
The police said the leadership of the Katsina Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service ought to have contacted the police on the issue before going to the press. Similarly, the police urged members of the public to disregard the publication and assured that the smuggler is not in any way a police officer and has since been transferred back to the customs office for prosecution. I am from Kaduna State. I used to come to Katsina to buy rice and go to Kaduna just to get something in possession of police ID card. I use this ID card as a means of identification. I present it anywhere I have any problem. Here I am, but I am not in any way a police officer. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
You're watching the News Hour on Trust Television. Coming up shortly. Snake bite cases in Gombe State. Join us again for more details. Welcome back. You're watching the News Hour on Trust Television. Here is a look at the top stories again. 21 people are confirmed missing in the attack on Kaduna-bound train as Inspector General of Police patrols Abuja-Kaduna Highway. Customs arrests suspected smuggler with police uniform in Katsina State. Now, elsewhere, the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, ASUP, has threatened to resume its strike, which was suspended on June 10, 2021, in the federal government if the federal government fails to meet its demands within 1 month. The union's president, Anderson Ezeibe, disclosed this to journalists in Yola, Adamawa State capital, during its 102nd National Executive Council meeting. Ezeibe, who said ASUP was close to resuming the suspended industrial strike action, noted that the union will reconvene in 1 month to take the decision.
The reality is that with this resolution, we are not only updating the public with respect to the status of our engagement with the government, but we are also informing the government and indeed members of the public that we are indeed very close, very, very close to resuming that suspended action. In fact, if the current status prevails in the next 1 month, then what it means is that a resumption of that particular strike action will be a very serious issue for consideration. And of course, and that is why our union's National Executive Council, which is the only organ of the union empowered to declare a strike action, is going to reconvene after 1 month after 1 month to take this very important decision.
Staying with educational matters, teachers in Awka, the Anambra State capital, say poor funding is affecting standard and quality of the certificates awarded to the education graduates. Speaking to newsmen in Awka, the teacher said successive governments have not given the needed attention and priority to teachers and the teaching profession. They also said the teachers in Nigeria face the challenge of poor working conditions, ranging from lack of conducive classrooms to lack of motivation. They added that lack of allowances and benefits like housing, health, transport, among others, also made the profession less attractive.
And they will have their shoulders up. But since there's no motivation, the salaries are poor, because what is happening in the society now, inflation rate is so high that we don't get any extra from anywhere.
We don't have adequate teaching personnel. So in many schools, some subjects are without teachers, and some teachers are overloaded because the population of the students is much. So you see a teacher teaching 6, 7, 8 classes, and that means that the teacher cannot perform effectively with such teaching load. So that is one of the problems we have. So if the government can help, because many teachers are retiring every year, and they are not recruiting more teachers. So if the government can help us by employing more teachers.
If teachers are encouraged with better pay, they will definitely perform better. And then along the line, those teachers that whose students perform well should be encouraged, should be rewarded somehow. There should be a reward system for teachers whose students do well. Probably because of lack of funds, teachers scarcely go on workshops, seminars, trainings and all that. So they need more trainings so that they can, come abreast with things happening around them.
Amidst concern over the cost of anti-snake venom, ASV, one of the largest snake bite treatment centers in Nigeria, is offering free medical care to victims of snake bites. Authorities at the Snake Bite Treatment and Research Hospital, Kaltungo, Gombe State, say that the free medical care is equal to the 2,000 doses of anti-snake venom they received from the Northeast Development Commission. Ibrahim Ismail visited the center and filed in this report.
About 188 patients were admitted here between March and early April 2022. Most of these patients are herders and farmers in rural areas, and some of them may find it difficult to buy the anti-snake venom. I was bitten by a snake at 3 p.m. I returned home, then they took me to the hospital on a bike, and I was given medicine and treatment. Now I have recovered thanks to the doctors. I am from Bara, Kirifi local government of Bauchi State. My son was bitten by a snake. We brought him to Kaltungo Hospital. We are lucky. The treatment is free. We are grateful. On a Friday night around 12 a.m., I returned home. I felt like something had pricked my leg. There was no light, but then later I checked, it was a snake, and I was brought here and given free medicine. Now I have recovered. I can even run. Workers here said there is at least a decrease in the number of cases that they have received this year compared to what was obtainable at the same period last year. The management said it is ready to continue to offer free treatment to patients.
They usually come, and if you ask them to buy the medication, it's going to be difficult for them. For instance, we have one case that we had to give 5 vials before she became stabilized. So if you would put a market price to that, she would have bought, just for the antivenom, she would have bought what, 200,000 naira. So you can imagine.
Gombe State Government, through the Ministry of Health, confirmed that the hospital will be upgraded to an international standard.
We are building a serpentarium where snakes will be kept. We also have a laboratory where investigations will be conducted for day-to-day this thing. Then laboratory for research on snake bite envenomation, and then the possible production of anti-snake venom.
For decades, the Kaltingo Snakebite Treatment and Research Institute has been treating patients from across Nigeria. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
We'll now take a quick break. News continues shortly. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, has felicitated with Nigerian Muslims on the commencement of this year's Ramadan fast. The Speaker, in a statement signed by his Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Lanre Lasisi, urged the Muslims to use the period to pray for peace and unity in the country, while calling on Muslims to observe the Ramadan fast in accordance with the Islamic injunctions. The Speaker wishes Muslims a successful month of Ramadan and enjoined the citizens to unite against insecurity and other challenges in the country. Residents of Bauchi want the federal government to halt rising prices of essential commodities and implement consumer protection policies in the country. The residents made the call against the background of the hike in price of goods and services as Ramadan fast commences. Adam Imam has more.
The Ramadan is the 9th month in the Islamic calendar that came with lots of bounties, love and blessings throughout the period. But essential commodities during the fasting of Ramadan in the country, especially the price of consumable, is always source of concern to many Nigerians. However, People urge authorities to have a rethink and look inward to salvage the country through a substantive price control.
The middlemen, the wholesalers, and whoever is concerned is also a Muslim. So, and each one of us knew the privileges one will have during the Ramadan.
We need concrete and solid government policy that will regulate the act of buying and selling of goods and services in Nigeria. Because the market is a free market. The government has allowed the price to detect itself by itself. That is why, because of the capitalist nature of this country.
Meanwhile, they also pointed out that not only the government alone, traders have contributed to the lingering economic hardship faced by the common man in the country, especially during festivities.
In other Muslim countries, when Ramadan came, they reduced their prices even by 50%. But in Nigeria, some people strive even harder to buy things at a cheaper price and hold it until Ramadan so that they can sell it at the expense of their own Muslims brothers.
They should be able to use that period again and support the poor people, the consumers, and allow the prices to be the way they are, or either to bring it down or to normalize it. But any attempt by anybody to increase prices of essential commodities during fasting or Ramadan, it's ungodly.
So also they added that this is the trying period for all Nigerians, hence the need to seek for God forgiveness through sharing of essential commodities during the Ramadan fast, so as to reduce the plight of the masses, especially those cannot afford daily square meal. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Muslims in Benin City, the Edo State capital, have been advised on the need to partake in the 2022 Ramadan fast. The advice came on Friday at a Jummah sermon at the S&T Uselu Barracks Mosque ahead of the Muslims' holy month of Ramadan. Nafisa Bello has the details.
During the sermon preceding the Jummah prayer, the chief imam of S&T Uselu Barracks Mosque, Zakaria Ishaq, admonished worshippers on the importance of the Ramadan fast. He also urged them to take advantage of the season to fervently seek the face of God during and after the fasting period.
Allah said in the Holy Quran, "O you who believe, fasting is what is prescribed to you as it was prescribed to those before you, those who came before us, those that they are not even among of the society." That 9 said that the rest hand, then because of what? Fasting, don't think that it's only Muslims that the fasting was described for them.
Speaking with some worshippers after the Jummah service on how prepared they are for the 1443 Ramadan, in spite of the various challenges bedeviling the country, they say they are fully prepared, knowing that the month is a sacred and blessed one.
Imam has just said, he has advised all the Muslims worldwide, not only here, of the guidance of holy Ramadan. But the month of Ramadan is very holy. We Muslims, we don't joke in the month of Ramadan. It's a month that Almighty Allah has set aside for the whole entire world, Muslim brothers and sisters. So therefore, we are happy that we are alive to observe this year's Ramadan fast. So we pray that Almighty Allah will give all the Muslims worldwide, both men and women, to observe the Ramadan fast.
Let's know, who know, you can say yes, Ramadan is a very blessing month. The blessing month, when we say it will bless you with everything. Anything you want, it will give, it will shape it. So family person have mind and have iman unto Allah.
As Muslims, we are well prepared. As soon as Shaban is counted to 29, as we know that the lunar month is at 29 or 30 days. So as soon as Shaban is 29, every Muslim is well prepared, expecting the glorious month of Ramadan. So we are all prepared in all ramifications, inshallah.
Ramadan is the 9th month of Islam's 12-month lunar year. Nafisa Bello, Trust TV News, Benin.
Some scavengers on Thursday appealed to Governor Dapo Abiodun of Ogun State to prevail on some of his appointees who they say are forcing them to sell their product to them at unreasonable price. Speaking with Trust TV, the scavengers disclosed that the officials forced them to stop working in the dump site in the state for over 2 months. The report.
The scavengers were in front of the governor's office to lay their complaint 2 days after some workers from the Ministry of Environment with some security agents set their goods ablaze along Ogere Ishuru Road, where goods worth 70 million naira was burnt. Usman Muhammad Tambuwal is one of the leaders of the scavengers, said there was a woman from the Ministry of Environment who came to burn their properties, saying she was sent by the governor, Dapo Abiodun. Some of the scavengers urged the governor to intervene.
I would beg governor to help us for Mr. Tunde to leave us to do work. We are working for dumping, like me now, 15 years since the season of Gbenga Daniel, after Gbenga Daniel, Amusu. But this season now, we don't know what happened. She come there, small like that. She said she won't buy the market. She give us price. We say the price no pay us. She said she will buy 25 naira. I'm selling it for the company 150. We say, Madam, I beg, help us, add something for us. She didn't have anything. From there, she said, today, no work. Tomorrow, no work.
So they stop anybody to do work there. So now because of that, they start to do wahala to do anything. Now everybody call ourselves, says better make we go governor house. Go ask what thing they happen because all of Nigeria people. Oh, they waiting what we go governor, make it help us because now the pace everybody they eat. Like me and many people. Now for that pace we they eat.
We are here today because of what is happening in the dump site. For the past some months now, they've been disturbing us not to work in the dump site. And this is where we eat, this is where we take care of our family. We want the government to help us out. We are hungry. This is where we have money to send our children to school. For the past 60 days now, we've not been working and we cannot go and steal. They should please help us out.
The vice chairman of the Association of the Scavengers in Ogun State, Hussein Maruf, disclosed that some members of the staff in the Ministry of Environment in Ogun State wanted to be buying their product at unreasonable price by all means.
We have a little problem with these so-called environmental people. The one we are selling 100 naira, they will be buying for 15 naira from us. That was where the whole problem started from. So we said we are not going to sell market for them. Now they came back and said they don't want us again, that they have the power given to them by the governor to chase us out and bring their people in to buy market. So but, we don't think that will be possible because I know the governor will not give anybody that authorization to send people where they are eating, working, feeding their family, send them away, and you now bringing your own people in. We want government to help us. This is the only place we have. That is where we're feeding.
Mr. Olusola Zubair is a special advisor to the governor of Ogun State on security, received the complaints of the scavengers.
They are association of scavengers, so they are complaining that they have been sent away from their site and that they have not been working for some time and they want the intervention of government. I heard from them and I'm going to table it before the government.
There was pandemonium in Itori, Ewekori local government area of Ogun State when youths went on rampage following the killing of a commercial motorcyclist by a suspected smuggler. The suspected smuggler, reportedly being chased by operatives of the Nigeria Customs Service, rammed into the motorcyclist on Friday. The motorcyclist, popularly known as Okada Rider, died on the spot, according to eyewitnesses. This, sources said, led to the chaos as youths at the scene of the incident went on rampage, setting properties on fire. The violent youths invaded a hotel where operatives of the Nigeria Customs Service usually lodged, destroying properties, while other vehicles were burnt in the fracas, which affected traffic on the old Lagos-Abeokuta highway for almost an hour. The Ogun State Police Public Relations Officer, Abimbola Oyeyemi, confirmed the incident on Saturday, saying 13 suspects were arrested in connection with the attack. No fewer than 13 people have been confirmed dead in a road accident involving a trailer truck in JIGAWA State. The Police Public Relations Officer in the state, Lawan Adam, who disclosed this in a statement on Friday, said the incident left 32 others injured. He explained that the truck, marked TAR 357XA, JIGAWA State, was loaded with about 53 passengers as well as scores of cows and goats. The vehicle, driven by a 28-year-old man identified as Babangida Muhammad, was on its way to Lagos from Maigatari local government area of JIGAWA before the incident occurred. However, the police could not ascertain the identities of the remaining 3 victims. Adam explained that a team of police personnel swiftly arrived at the scene to rescue the injured victims, who were taken to the general hospital in Ringim. He added that the 4 others, Adamu Gagare, Ado Habu, Rabiu Ibrahim and Arma Idris, were referred to Rashid Shekoni Teaching Hospital in Dutse for further treatment. In his reaction, the Commissioner of Police in JIGAWA, Aliu Tafida, condoled with the families of the deceased and prayed for the recovery of the injured victims. He urged motorists to avoid overspeeding, overtaking, overloading, and receiving phone calls while driving. Tafida stressed the need for them to check their tires, brake, and other essential parts of the vehicle, as well as ensure to get enough sleep before embarking on any journey. A newly born baby boy abandoned in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, has been found with a note from his supposed mother. Trust TV learned that the baby that was abandoned at a residential area of the city was found around 10 p.m. on Thursday evening. Narrating the incident to our correspondent, a resident of the area, Fatima Muhammad, explained that their attention was drawn to the abandoned baby by some passers-by. According to her, the baby was abandoned alongside a letter indicating that the mother presented the child as a gift to a resident of the area, one Muhammadu Yaro. The Police Public Relations Officer in the state, ASP Ramhan Nansel, said that the matter was reported at B Division, adding that the baby has been handed over to the State Ministry for Women Affairs. The Permanent Secretary, State House Tijani Umar, at the weekend led a team of management staff on an on-the-spot assessment of the current state of facility in the State House, DODAN Barracks, the former seat of government in Ewekori, Lagos. The facility was the official seat of government business on the former military heads of state, including Generals Yakubu Gowon, Murtala Muhammad, Olusegun Obasanjo, and Muhammadu Buhari, as well as the Supreme Military Headquarters during the Nigerian Civil War. Speaking at a town hall meeting with the staff in Lagos, the Permanent Secretary said that the presidential facility the presidential facility in the State House, DODAN Barracks at Ribado Road, Ikoyi, will receive the necessary attention to make them active, functional, and effective in delivering services.
Quite, a number of revealing, reports about how we are trying to keep DODAN Barracks active and alive, because it's not easy. So we decided also that we would come and interface with you and listen to some of your own problems and some of the problems, with the office, the physical structures. And then we take our notes and begin to put our thinking caps on and then see how we can resolve some of them to make the work environment and the operating environment a little more conducive for all of us, and especially conducive for our principals, so that whenever they come here, they will be very proud.
We'll now take a quick break. The news continues shortly. Please stay with us.
Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 virus. Most people who fall sick with COVID-19 will experience mild to moderate symptoms and recover without special treatment. However, some will become seriously ill and require medical attention. The virus can spread from an infected person's mouth or nose in small liquid particles when they cough, sneeze, speak, sing, or breathe. These particles range from larger respiratory droplets to smaller aerosols. You can be infected by breathing in the virus if you're near someone who has COVID-19 or by touching a contaminated surface and then touching your eyes, nose, or mouth. The virus spreads more easily indoors and in crowded settings. Maintain a safe distance from others at least 2 meters even if they don't appear to be sick. Wear a mask in public, especially indoors or when physical distancing is not possible. Clean your hands often. Use soap and water or an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Cover your nose and mouth with your bent elbow or a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Stay home if you feel unwell. Get vaccinated. Properly fitted masks can help prevent the spread of the virus from the person wearing the mask to others. Masks alone do not protect against COVID-19 and should be combined with physical distancing and hand hygiene. Protect yourself and others around you by knowing the facts and taking appropriate precautions. Follow advice provided by your local health authority. This message is brought to you by Trust TV.
Thanks for staying. You're watching the news on Trust Television. Now, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has apologized to passengers and other airport users who witnessed a temporary power outage at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, on Friday. FAAN, in a statement by its acting general manager, Corporate Affairs, Faithful Hope Ibaze, said that the outage was as a result of Friday's rain, which came with very fierce winds and storms. Passengers were on Saturday stranded at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, after a power outage hit a section of the airport. It was learned that the departure lounge of the international airport was the most affected on Saturday.
Ready.
Now, President Muhammadu Buhari on Friday received Chadian leader Lieutenant General Muhammad Idris Deby at the State House in Abuja. Deby visits Abuja a day after the President of the Republic of Niger, Mahamadou Bazoum, paid similar official visits to Nigeria. The visit came amid the increasing security challenges in the northwest, spearheaded by bandits terrorizing local communities. Spearheaded. And now on the foreign scene, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says retreating Russian troops are leaving behind landmines, creating a catastrophic situation. Zelensky has said that there are noticeable signs of a Russian withdrawal from the north of Ukraine, but says more battles are ahead in the east. Meanwhile, the Red Cross is set to make a new attempt to evacuate Ukrainian civilians from the besieged city of Mariupol after a convoy was forced to turn back On Friday, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said that the United Nations humanitarian chief will travel to Moscow on Sunday and then to Kyiv to discuss ceasefire efforts, and that the United States says it is providing Ukraine with additional security assistance as well as supplies to respond to a potential Russian chemical attack. Meanwhile, UNESCO has lamented the damages to dozens of Ukrainian cultural sites as a result of the war. And that wraps up Trust News Hour. Connect with us via our social media platforms and also subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch us live. I am Ewekori. Thank you for watching.